What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Patrick, aka Addicted to Combat, back for another week of Best Bets and Props, where I go over all of my betting action for this weekend's UFC card, which is UFC 288, Aljamain Sterling defending his Bantamweight Championship against the former Bantamweight and Flyweight champion, Henry Cejudo. An awesome 14-fight card this weekend. We've got the co-main event, a special edition co-main event, welterweight division between Belal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns. 5-round fight in that one as well. So a lot of spots I like from a betting perspective on this card, unlike the past couple of weeks where it's been kind of shoddy with, who you want to trust. We've got a lot of fights and a lot of returning veterans of the sport to really put our money behind and trust. And as such, I do have 6 money lines and 3 props that make up my betting action for this weekend's UFC card. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. We can dive into the first money line of the night. First money line of the night, I do have Daniel Santos to defeat Johnny Munoz Jr. at bantamweight. The aggressive, plotting, forward pressure style of the Muay Thai striker Daniel Santos, who's coming off of a big TKO win in round 2 over John Castaneda. I've got minus 155 as the price tag, 2 units on him to defeat Munoz Jr. Like I said, I think he gets the job done. I wouldn't mind the unders in this fight either because I think Munoz Jr. is quite the finisher as well. Great grappler. His BJJ is usually his route to victory, a slick back take, and if he gets you on the mat, it's trouble. But Santos is so fast, and he's a very athletic guy, and his BJJ credentials are not that bad either. So I think he stays safe off the mat. He keeps this striking, and Johnny Munoz Jr., just good enough striking as a grappler, still figuring it out. You saw him use it to success in his last fight against Ludovic Cholinian, but Santos is a guy who, I think he's kind of getting a step down in competition here after coming off of that win over John Castaneda. So I think Santos gets the job done. Munoz not shown to be the most durable so far in his UFC career. So 2 units at minus 155 on Daniel Santos. My next money line is down at women's 115. I am taking Marina Rodriguez at minus 125 on the money line to defeat Virna Jandiroba. I have 2 units on Rodriguez at that price tag. It's not much more than that now. The money line came down, it dipped, and then it came back up a little bit around minus 140 for Rodriguez. Now, there is plus money to be had on the better grappler in Virna Jandiroba, and we've seen Marina Rodriguez struggle in that area, but I think the striking disparity here is vast. Marina Rodriguez, the fight's going to start on the feet. She's going to use her long weapons, powerful technical kickboxing to keep Virna at bay, piece her up, and if Virna chooses to clinch up, dive on a leg, I just hope that is, after about the halfway mark of the round. That way we get more striking on the numbers from Rodriguez. Hopefully she can stay safe. She's beaten a couple of really good grapplers in the UFC already, Mackenzie Dern, also Amanda Hebos, who she finished. So those girls both finished Virna Jandiroba. Not getting into MMA mathematics here, but I think Marina Rodriguez will be able to do the better work while this is on the feet. If she gets taken down, it's probably going to be the rest of the round for Virna, in all honesty. But I think she could do enough work while it is standing. And then, she's been working on that part of her game for a while. That's the last piece of the puzzle for Rodriguez, who at 36 probably isn't making huge strides in improvement, but it's a game plan she's had to work through before, and she's come out victorious. So give me those 2 units at minus 125 on Rodriguez. My next money line was supposed to be a parlay. I know a lot of people were parlaying up Chaos Williams this week with another big favorite, which was Movsar Evloev. I was just on that side as well, but, the Movsar Evloev-Bryce Mitchell fight got called off, so I'm left with 2 units on minus 315, the price tag on Chaos Williams, who is stepping in here against a debuting fighter by the name of Rolando Bedoya, a Peruvian fighter, but he trains alongside Daniel Santos down there at the Diego Lima Chuta Box in Brazil. All those blonde-haired Brazilians. This Peruvian is part of that crew, and he is kind of a clunkier version of that game plan, right? Like, he plods forward, very confident in his Muay Thai, aggressive, but his defense is so poor. I've seen this guy, even though he's got a 14-1 record, Bedoya, he's, been close to being knocked out in some regional scene fights against not the best level of competition. And he's got to rally back, show his toughness, prove that toughness, and go back in there to wear them out and either finish the job by inside the distance finish, or he's got 7-1 as his record in decision results. So he's not totally like, Muay Thai knockout or bust. But against Chaos Williams, you need to protect your chin at all costs. This guy is far too slow, far too hittable to avoid those big power shots from Chaos Williams. Bedoya is young. He's 26 years old, but Chaos Williams been in the UFC against very high-level competition, going 4-2 in those results, finishing 3 of those 4 wins by knockout. He's only 29 years old, a very big welterweight here, 6 foot tall, 77-inch reach, so slight height and reach advantage for Chaos, big power advantage, big experience advantage. I can see why he is a -315 or more favorite at this point in the week, so I'm going to take him to win. Like I said, I got those 2 units on his money line at this point since the parlay fell apart, and I have 1 more unit on his knockout prop, so that 1 unit on his knockout prop at -135, in addition to the 2 units on his money line at this point, I think he gets the job done. It is a little bit dangerous to bet against Bedoya's chin and assume he gets knocked out inside the distance, since we've not seen him lose by knockout before, but he's never faced somebody at this caliber of technical striking. Not that Chaos is the most technical striker, but way better than what we've seen from Bedoya so far, and much better than Bedoya's seen on his regional career at this point. My next money line is on Drew Dober at lightweight to defeat Matt Frevola. -210 was the price tag. I put 2 units on Drew Dober. And I think he gets this job done inside the distance, most likely. The chin of Matt Frevola, I'm always suspect of after many times he's been knocked out and dropped in the UFC. The complete opposite is true of Drew Dober. This guy's got legendary durability. It's been, probably over a decade since he's been knocked out, and his only career loss by knockout, he's only been dropped 1 time, and that was to Terrence McKinney, who he came back and won part of this current 3-fight finish streak that Drew Dober's been on, coming off of that impressive Bobby Green win. So powerful in his hands. His Muay Thai is very slick. He does have a creative striking background owing to his background in Taekwondo. So obviously, as a striker, the most suspect part of his game is going to be that takedown defense. But he's got a decent get-up game. He's always working positions to get back up, wall walk on the cage. Matt Frevola is a guy that's going to need to come in with a wrestling game plan heavy from the get-go in this fight. But lately we've seen 2 knockout wins. He might have fallen in love with his power. He does like to get into firefights. And Drew Dober, he can be hittable at times early in the fight. And I think as soon as Matt Frevola lands flush 1 time, he's going to go right into that firefight mindset and get himself knocked out against the very durable Drew Dober. So, like I said, Drew Dober to win, -210 at 2 units investment. The Matt Frevola decision prop, I would say, though, is a very good way to look at this from the opposite point of view. If Frevola does wrestle the whole time, that's not a bad prop for a likely outcome at like +300 or more on Matt Frevola by decision. So that will be the second recommendation, but I like the Dober side of things here at the money line. Up next at featherweight, I'm taking an underdog in Kron Gracie to defeat Charles Jourdain. I've got 3/4 of a unit at +165 for his money line, and Kron Gracie's submission prop at +270. I put just 0.25 units on that. Quarter unit on the sub prop, which is the only way that he's ever won in a mixed martial arts fight. He's got 5 wins, 1 loss, 1-1 in the UFC. The last time we saw him in the UFC was against Cub Swanson, a fight where he, oddly enough, did not seem eager to get this fight to the mat. But I believe this fight will hit the mat. We saw some decent striking from the southpaw Kron Gracie. Pretty relaxed striking for being, a BJJ expert. Grandson to the legendary Elio Gracie, son of Rickson Gracie, one of the best of all time. And I think Charles Jourdain is going to give up some mistake in this fight, end up on the mat, give up his back, give up a limb. And Kron Gracie, at his level of BJJ, this is like a heavyweight puncher's chance of turning the tides of a fight. So at plus money, I do like it. That +270 submission prop for his, only outcome of really winning this fight. I think he, aside from him getting a control time based decision, if somehow Jourdain can stay safe, if he's controlled on the mat, I just don't think that's likely. So I'm going to take the stab. It's a riskier bet just because we haven't seen him in 3.5 years, but give me Kron Gracie to get the submission here. And my last money line and prop are both in the co-main event of the fight card. I've got the 170 bout between Belal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns, a 5-round bout. I'm taking Belal Muhammad as the underdog at +115. I put 1.5 units on his money line and another half of a unit on Belal's decision prop, which is at +200. So I love the disparity between the prop and the money line. Normally you don't get that with Belal, but since he's coming off of one of his first knockout wins in the UFC, I think maybe his second one in his entire career over Sean Brady, we're getting a bit more of a disparity in that line. But Gilbert Burns has been decently tough given the level of competition he's gone up against. Only knocked out by Kamaru Usman and Dan Hooker, which was down at lightweight. So Gilbert Burns going to bring that explosive power early, that explosive threat. He's got a very good ability to get the fight to the mat with his wrestling. And once he gets the fight to the mat, very high-level BJJ game. But Belal Muhammad, he's been game planning for every kind of opponent you can imagine, and he's done it so well with a well-rounded game from Belal, a decent size for the division. I mean, the guy is, if he faces a kickboxer like Wonderboy Thompson, he's taking him down for 3 rounds. If he's facing a guy with explosive power like Vicente Luque with a great ground game, he's playing counter-striker and wearing him out over the course of a 5-round fight, and then working his own grinding, grappling approach. So then he takes on a very powerful and very strong Sean Brady in his last fight. He manages to keep that fight standing and TKOs him at the towards the end of round 2, I want to say. So a volume striker, good cardio, and a solid wrestler himself. I'm liking Belal at plus money. Like I said, plus 115 is what I got. You could have done better than that at a certain point last week. We'll see where the money line goes as the fight card draws nearer, but I think right now plus 110 is what you can do best on his money line, and I like that decision prop at plus 200. That's a great disparity between the prop, which is his most likely condition, and his money line. So give me Belal Muhammad to draw closer to this potential title shot. Okay, so there you have it, you guys. That's all 6 of my money lines, all 3 of the props, all of the betting action I have, and there's quite a bit on this card because I do like it from a betting perspective. There's some spots that I thought about betting on this card, but just too close to call. The main event is one of them. I think that could go in either man's favor. The Zalgas fight, I know that guy's just hard to back, but I think he's got a path to victory in this fight. Looking at the Jessica Andrade-Yan Xiaonan fight, I lean the dog in that fight, but Andrade is tough, and she's back in her weight class, so siding with the 6 money lines: Daniel Santos, Marina Rodriguez, Drew Dober, Chaos Williams, Crown Gracie, and Belal Muhammad, with a couple of props in there. And I do have a degenerate prop round robin where it's just doubling down a little bit. It's only $22 for a 4-prop round robin, 11 combinations at just $2 each. So the big payout, little investment, just a lottery ticket here between the Zalgas and Estevam fight goes to split at plus 450. That Belal decision I popped in here at plus 200. The Gracie sub on this round robin, I got it at plus 240, even though my real investment is at plus 270. And then I got to show some love for my meathead brother, Braxton Smith, making his debut against Parker Porter. Braxton Smith, round 1 KO at plus 300 in this round robin. So just a $22 little lottery ticket of round robins to win probably, I don't know, north of $1,500 or something like that. I'm not sure what the calculation is, but that's my lottery ticket round robin of the week. Those are the bets. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let me hear what your best bets are and ways to make money on this card in the comments. Your strong takes, I'd love to hear it. Good luck and everything. Again, for all my handicapper friends, they're going to be out there in Newark. Have the best of time, you guys, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Cheers.